Hello friends, so I recently heard that the 80s She-Ra is getting a live action maybe, like it's really early on. So my only knowledge of She-Ra is the Netflix version. I just watched it like a month ago for the first time and I love it so much. But yeah, I figured let's play around, go back to the 80s versions. Um, yeah, I wanted to kind of like keep all the designs like similar enough to the original while kind of making them a little different and like from each other. Like they all have the same body mold and like the outfit silhouette just because the toys are made easier that way, which like I get. The whole show is just made to sell toys, which is cool. But for a live action, when you actually want to like tell a different story than the original, it's like the outfits are gonna have to have like some distinction, right? I mean they don't have to, but it would just be a lot cooler that way. Um, I do think like from an art perspective, I do think the Netflix designs are more appealing, but I do get the frustration with like characters you grew up with being changed. So like I wanted to keep the elements of the original characters, um, but just kind of like tweak them a bit, just make them like add a little more interest to their outfits because a lot of them are just kind of like plain to me. I don't know. Um, I really, I literally despise Entrapta's old design. Like it's the colors don't look good together to me. I don't know. But I really like Glimmer though. I like Glimmer's old design. Very cool. Yeah, basically I just wanted to add a little more detail and kind of for some of the characters get rid of that whole like swimsuit shape. I don't know, it's very weird. Um and like there's a whole debate around like whether the characters are sexualized or not. Like I haven't seen the show. I don't know like in the context of the show what kind of situations they get themselves into, but like just looking at the designs by themselves, it's like they were clearly designed by guys who were trying to create like a just a plain, perfect sort of woman shape, which, like, again, made to sell toys, whatever. But, yeah, it's a little oof. And I'm not saying in the live action everybody has to, like, be fat or whatever, because that's not healthy either, but, like, I mean, like, actors will have different bodies, like, even if they're all healthy, they're gonna look different, right? So, yeah. Um, I mean, again, that's just the cartoon to live action thing. Like with cartoons, it's way easier to animate things all the same and draw them all looking the same, especially if it's to make toys. But like, just that specific like shape of woman is like a little definitely like created to be most appealing to men. Like the show was made as like a girly spinoff, but like the creators still have like that bias of what they like, right? So yeah. That sounds like really dunking on the show. Like I haven't seen it. I have no feelings for it or like against it. Like it's like just there to me. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of wanted to desexualize some of them a little. Like some of them are like fine, but some of them are like obviously sexualized. So I wanted to like kind of not do that. But I still wanted to keep the elements of the original design because again, it sucks when you grow up with something and a reboot just like totally strips everything about that character away, you know? So yeah. So then I start coloring them, and with Glimmer, I kept them pretty similar, all the colors and stuff. Um, Sometimes I do change around color just because I feel like the colors in the original don't look good, and like there has to be a balance between like things looking good and like staying true to the original character. But for Glimmer, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think the colors look good together already. Um, Yeah, I just really like it. For some reason, I love characters with purple outfits and pink hair, like Techna from Wings Club and like Starfire in Teen Titans, and then like Glimmer. I was like, yes. Well, I mean, like the Netflix Glimmer, but like both Glimmers have the same color scheme, so it's like both are just top tier. Um, so yeah, I kind of maybe was too inspired by Techna from Wings Club with this design. The little hip things kind of remind me of her Enchantix outfit. But at least I'm not getting inspiration from the Netflix version of She-Ra. I'm just getting inspiration from some other cartoon. So, is that just as bad? I don't know. But I still think it looks similar enough to the 80s cartoon to be recognizable, I think. Yeah, just a little less swimsuity. Like, she still got the little superhero underwear sort of thing going on, but it's like the little armor hip things, and the leggings make it less obvious, I guess. And then for Entrapta, I literally despise the design. I think I said that already. Um, Especially the colors. So I kind of went with a more cool toned gray because in the drawing it's very warm toned and it just looks kind of gross. So I kind of made it look like more like real metal, which like I don't know if her outfit is meant to look like metal. I made it like into armor, but like if it's not meant to be metal, then it's just like really ugly gray clothes. So like I'm hoping it's meant to be like some kind of metal thing. So yeah, I just made it into armor, which I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have done because I mean I don't know anything about the character in the 80s, but like in the reboot she's very like technology based, and I don't know, maybe I could have done like a more technology based design instead of like an old knight sort of vibe, but I just felt this would look more like her original design, and then I translated the yellow like collar thing into like little shoulder shoulder armors that are like gold instead of like a weird yellow color. Yeah, it's weird looking at cartoons and you're like, is that supposed to be metal or like fabric or like what is that? So yeah, usually I wouldn't pair gold and silver together, but like if it's armor, I think it's fine. I also made her purple skirt a little desaturated and kind of put all the focus of like the color on her hair. But yeah, and Mermista, I think I really like this one the most, I think. Actually, I don't know. But the original Mermista is just so plain. Like the design is really top heavy, like there's detail on the bodice, but then her legs are just like blue. It's just like a jumpsuit with like blue legs, and it's like, okay, that's boring. So I put like a kind of sheer skirt around her waist and added some little like I wanted them to look kind of like seaweed, like little straps like hanging off her shoulders and like around her hips. Yeah, I just think it adds a little more interest while still being like obviously the same sort of outfit, I guess. Yeah, I made the green a little more turquoisey green and less like foresty like plant green, just because it would fit the sea theme better, and I didn't think it looked very good with the blue. Um, yeah, so Perfuma I also like. Her dress is very plain in the original, like it's just a plain pink dress. So I decided to add a little corset type of detail out of like green sort of plants. I also made her hair shorter. I like played around with some like hairstyles because it's really boring if all the characters have the same hair length. And like again, I know dolls, you gotta have the same hair length. It's really easy to just do that, you know. I get it, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of play around and see what different hair lengths would look like. Obviously, I kept Entrapped as the same because her hair moves and that's her whole thing. But yeah, I mean, as far as I know, none of the characters use their hair as like magic. But I mean, I hope they don't because that would ruin the whole design. But yeah, this one I also did a few that were not in the reboot because I wanted to challenge myself a bit more. So this is Pika Blue. I think this character was like mentioned in the reboot, but like it wasn't actually the character when. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but basically the character isn't really in there. So I started by putting the peacock thing like on the front because I felt like it's very like the outfit is plain, but then the peacock thing is like whoa. So I figured I would implement that into the actual outfit instead, if that makes sense. But then I didn't know what to do with her hair because I wanted to keep her hair green, but I also didn't want to like it clashed. It's very like eye bleedy, like all the primary colors plus green. It just looks very like kindergarten. I have no idea what color theory is, and I'm just using whatever colors I can, you know. So I ended up changing the reds to green, so that her hair would match better. So then it could be green too, and then the little eyes on the shirt would kind of pop out more. So yeah, it's a little different, but I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. So next is Sweet Bee, I think her name is. I love bees. Any bee character is just like, yes, I love you. So yeah, I kind of kept not really much. I kind of extended that like necklace sort of thing she has into like a full like chest piece sort of. Um, and I added a couple of like little stripes to her armor and made them more like a honeyish color of yellow instead of like the orange because I don't know, I just don't like orange and yellow. It just looks weird to me. I like a more like natural like honey color, especially if it's like a bee. Like bees aren't orange. There's no orange here. I mean, I guess some honey can be orange. Can it? I don't know. What does honey look like? Anyway, but yeah, I kind of made her hair a more honey blonde too instead of like just the straight up, just plain blonde. Yeah, there are lots of different blondes in the world, not just like. Or wait, is she even blonde? It's more like orange, isn't it? I can't tell. Moving too fast. I can't see anything. But yeah, I always hate when like some cartoons always use like the same yellow color for every blonde character. Like the Rainbow Fairy books, for example. It's like, where's the variation? Anyway, so Frosta, I love her. Yeah, her original design actually. It's so good. That's the only downgrade I think that the Netflix redesign did. I mean, it's still good. It's just like more of a comfy vibe and less of a spooky ice witch sort of vibe. I mean, both are good. I just prefer the ice witch type of look. So I kind of made her belt and things into like a icy shape, and her boots and gloves too. And then I put the cape like not just around her neck because like what? That would not be comfy. So I just made it like just a plain cape, I guess. I was gonna do it like to the side because I was gonna make the skirt kind of like a asymmetrical length. I don't know why I did that. I think I wanted to give some illusion of like it like melting or something by leaning to one side, but then I was like, nah. So yeah, yeah, the colors are pretty much all the same. I made her hair a little shorter just to kind of looks like little spikies of ice, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so on to Scorpia. Scorpia is my favorite character in the reboot. I love her so much. But I want this one to just be evil. Like I know she's a bad guy in the original, right? Like her design looks pretty straight up evil, but she's very like sexy evil, and I wanted her to be like powerful evil. She can be powerful and sexy, but like I don't know. There's a difference between like wearing a sexy outfit and like a character like completely like just being designed to be sexualized. You know, I don't know. Um, but yeah, I wanted to put lots of like the little like scorpion type of like parts on her. So like her boots are kind of like that, and like she has a lot of like arm things. Her little pincers in the original are just so pathetic. I'm sorry, they're so tiny. Like, what are you even gonna do with those? So I didn't make them like huge like Netflix Scorpio, but like I did make them a little bigger just to be a little more threatening. um, so yeah, yeah, I use lots of different reds. I pretty much stick to like the black and red thing, but yeah, just different reds, deeper reds, I guess. I want her to be like a powerful like evil queen sort of thing. I don't know. I didn't even know what her vibe is in the original show. I just wanted her to be like cool and powerful, and she knows she's evil and she likes it. Yeah. I also gave her like a like pants, but with like a skirt cape sort of thing, so that like she's not just out here with like skin tight outfit, but then like the fabric of the skirt is loose enough that you can see the tail coming out, and it has room to like move and attack people. And her headpiece is also kind of cool. I didn't want to like totally cover her hair, so I just gave her like dark brown hair just to be generic, I guess. I don't know, but I wanted like there to be a bun, so it kind of makes her look taller above the headpiece thing, and the some little strands just coming down just to give it a bit more detail, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, here they all are. They're all done. I hope you guys like them. I hope I didn't like stomp on anyone's childhood too hard, but like I think it looks like similar enough that it's like cool. I don't know. Like a kind of like mini upgrade, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I hope if the live action does become a thing that the costumes are pretty. Maybe I'll get into the original cartoon just so I can like have some backstory before I check out the live action if it ends up being a thing. It's still very early, so like whatever. But yeah, see y'all later.